Good morning. Welcome to morning meeting. So I don't know about you, but sometimes I procrastinate and don't get to the writing projects that I need to be getting to. And I shouldn't say need, it's more like that I want to be getting to. I just procrastinate. And it doesn't happen all the time, but it happens enough that I've thought about it and said, you know what, I should try something different. And so a few weeks back, I decided I would run with this experiment. And I don't remember where I got this idea, but this is what I'm doing. I have 4 books that I'm writing right now. And yes, I'm working on them pretty much all at the same time. Because that way, if I get stuck in one, I can just go and work on another one and then get unstuck from the one I was stuck on. So I don't really get writer's block so much because that's how I manage it. At any rate, so what I decided to do was apply the idea of tiny habits from BJ Fogg to my writing. Now, if you're not familiar with Tiny Habits and BJ Fogg, go look it up. Fabulous stuff. He's the researcher is fabulous to talk with, really open and helpful if you reach out to him. And the book is great too. I started reading his stuff and following him many years ago before the book ever came out. And if you're familiar with James Clear and Atomic Habits, he's actually how I heard about BJ Fogg so many years ago. So anyway, look up Tiny Habits. Great book, very useful. So what it is anything you can do for 30 seconds or less, do that. And that's how you can bring in this habit. So I decided to apply that idea to working on these 4 books. 3 of them are fiction, 1 is nonfiction. And so what I do is I committed to the smallest thing, which is 1 sentence per book per day. And I started this a couple weeks ago. So 1 sentence per book per day. Now, what will frequently happen is I'll write more than 1 sentence, but I stop myself at a certain amount. So like if I've written maybe 5 sentences and I'm like, oh, time to stop, go to the next book. And then I'll write in that one. Oh, time to stop, go to the other book. And so I've been doing this for a few weeks, and it's been working really well. It's an interesting experiment to do it this way. Yeah, it'll take forever to finish the books. I'm not going to keep doing it this way long term, but it's been a nice change of perspective. It's interesting to switch from writing about a middle grade novel about coyotes and their ongoing feud saga within their coyote clans, and then the outsiders, which are the bobcats. It's interesting to write this middle grade book that I've been working on and off for, I don't know, 10 years. I don't know, it's been a while. And then switch to 2 books that are fiction that are both about mysteries but different perspectives, because one is a mystery that involves a private investigator, a male private investigator in New Orleans, and the other one is an amateur sleuth who lives in some made up place that I created in Wisconsin, some town I created in Wisconsin. Then I switched to a nonfiction book that's about habits and how to manage habits, create habits, that sort of stuff. So it's an interesting thing to go from one to the other. And so when I start with one, then the next day I start with the last one that I worked with. And this has been kind of fun. I'm actually enjoying it. It's been a nice kick in the seat of the pants. So I'm just sharing that with you in case you're feeling like you're stuck, you need something different to do. Try that. Something I can do for 30 seconds or less approach, and just run with it. And oftentimes you will find that you will do more than that. If you apply this to an exercise habit or a movement habit, it's really simple. You give yourself that one thing, like I did this years ago. I'm only going to do 1 push-up, right? Well, that 1 push-up eventually turned into doing 1,000 push-ups in a single day, which I did write about for Better Humans, if you go check them out on Medium. So that's what eventually can happen, is it morphs into something much, much bigger. So that's what I'm thinking about today. See you later.